Protesters arrested this afternoon after demonstrating outside the offices of Senators Ron Johnson and Tom Tillis. The protesters were heard chanting, "We need Medicare, we need Medicaid," speaking out against proposed cuts in President Trump's big, beautiful bill, which is also dividing the GOP-controlled Senate, with some Republicans wishing to see more drastic spending cuts, but others expressing concern over the severity of the cuts already. Now, in the meantime, Trump has been working the phones and meeting with Republican senators in hope of passing the bill through the upper chamber of Congress, and ABC News' Perry Russum has the latest for us.
President Trump today ramping up his attacks on Republican Senator Rand Paul, one of the holdouts opposing his big, beautiful budget bill. Trump accusing Paul of voting no on everything, saying the senator has very little understanding of the bill.
I am for a lot of the bill, but I can't in good conscience give up every principle that I stand for and every principle that I was elected upon, and that's that we can't accumulate more debt.
As the bill is currently constructed, it promises to slash federal spending by $1.5 trillion. At the same time, by some estimates, it adds $3.8 trillion to the national deficit over the next 10 years, with cuts to Medicaid and food assistance. Paul says the cuts do not go far enough, calling them wimpy and anemic.
3 or 4 of us are very concerned about the spending and the debt ceiling.
The White House claims the bill will not add to the deficit.
We are very confident in our own economic analyses of this bill.
Trump has been working the phones, meeting with senators to rally their support. The bill's passage is key to enacting the president's agenda.
There's probably 53 Republican senators who would like to see some changes.
Whatever changes the Senate makes will then have to be approved in the House. According to the nonpartisan budget office, more than 8 million Americans are projected to lose Medicaid coverage. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer calls the bill a cruel, cynical attack on Americans' health care.
Senate Republicans can make jokes all they want that we're going to die anyway. But for many working-class Americans, health care is the difference between life and death.
Elon Musk, who is no longer a part of the administration, speaking out today against the bill, saying it will massively increase the deficit, saying it will burden Americans with crushingly unsustainable debt. He calls the bill a disgusting abomination. Kana?
Well, Perry Russum, our thanks to you. Joining us now for more on this is Republican Congressman Russell Fry from South Carolina to talk about this legislation. Thank you so much for being here with us. I know you voted for the version, right, that passed through the House. So are you worried at all or concerned about any specific changes that are being discussed in the Senate right now?
Well, I think the Senate's going to work their will, and I think they all understand the narrow majority that it took to actually pass the bill in Congress. We passed by one vote. And so understanding that framework and understanding that dynamic, I think they all understand themselves. I expect them to talk about certain issues and maybe even change it slightly. But for us, we're already teetering on a very narrow majority, and we have to get this job done. The American people expect nothing less. They want their taxes to not go up. We don't want to see the largest tax increase in American history. They want American energy. They want ingenuity back. They want small businesses to thrive. And that all is accomplished within the one big, beautiful bill that the House passed. So we'll see what they do. For us right now, the product is substantively good, and it's ready to hopefully be delivered to the president's desk.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be coming your way first before it goes to the president's desk. So where do you stand on work requirements to receive Medicaid benefits? Are you worried that that specifically could change in the Senate?
Well, I hope not. I mean, work requirements, this is an 80-20 issue with the American people. They want these things in. And if you're an able-bodied adult and you're sitting at home, work requirements are an absolute necessity. Look, Medicaid was originally designed to help pregnant women, people with disabilities, and the elderly. If you're able-bodied and an adult, you need to be working. There's dignity in work, and this saves a tremendous amount of money to the taxpayers. The original intent of Medicaid has been drastically twisted, in part under the Obama administration. And so this recalculates that. This synthesizes it for what and protects the program long term, which is the goal of everybody in the Republican side.
Right, it's some 80 hours a month is my understanding is that requirement. Another provision, though, getting a lot of attention is AI, right? The banning of state regulations. Where do you come down on that issue?
I think what the Energy and Commerce Committee discussed was that you have a lot of blue states out there that are heavily regulating AI. And if you look at where AI is going, they're abandoning Europe. And part of the reason why they're leaving Europe and not developing this technology in Europe is because of the overregulation. So we need to have one standard. This touches interstate commerce, which is within the Constitution. And we need to have a firm grasp on AI and how we want to handle it. But you don't get there by passing blue state regulations that are very synonymous with what's happening in Europe. If we want to win this battle with China, if we want to be the developer of AI technology and the pioneers of that we need to do it within the United States, but we don't get there by following the European model.
We know that you were invited, right, by a group that called themselves, they called it a nonpartisan town hall. They wanted you to come to. It happened in April. I know you didn't go. But there's been a lot of Republicans facing a bit of backlash from their own constituents during some of these town halls. Have you been able to hear from your constituents, and would you consider doing a town hall?
We do town halls all the time. We've done a lot. We do radio town halls. We are very accessible on television. We interact with our constituents on a regular basis. And so we're going to continue to do that. We go to festivals. We interact with people. We walk around. We talk to people on a one-on-one basis. But what you see is really a playbook of the left, where they fund left-wing agitators to come to these places and disrupt. They want to yell and scream. They don't want to actually engage in a dialogue. They want a clickable moment for social media and the press to show that Republicans are viewed negatively. But quite frankly, the polling shows that a lot of the issues that we're focused on right now are the same issues that the American people are focused on. So we're going to continue to listen to the voters of our districts. We're going to continue to be engaged with them, but we're not going to take the bait of left-wing agitators that are funded by these groups to cause disruption.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope that you'll come back and you'll update us here if and when this bill does make it back to the House. And let's talk about any of these potential changes. Congressman Frey, thanks for being with us.
Of course. Thank you so much.